University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello. Well, we've almost sorted the sheep from the goats. All the winning teams from the first round are through to the next stage of the competition. There's one remaining bit of business. The 4 highest-scoring losing teams from round 1 get a stay of execution, and they'll be playing tonight and next time for a chance to stay in the contest. In some instances, their losing scores were as good as or better than those of winning teams in other matches, so it's only fair. St John's College, Cambridge lost to Lincoln College, Oxford in round 1 by a margin of 35 points, despite holding the lead in the early stages. Their losing score of 185 is the highest of the 4 teams through to these playoffs. Let's meet them again.
Hello, I'm Matthew Dolan from Galway in the Republic of Ireland, and I'm studying for a PhD in particle physics.
Hello, my name's Jonathan Evans. I'm originally from Cardiff, and I'm reading a PhD in the neurobiology of Parkinson's disease.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Martin O'Leary from Kildare in Ireland, and I'm studying for a PhD in glaciology.
Hello, I'm Aisling Byrne. I'm also from Ireland, from Dublin, and I'm studying for an MPhil in medieval literature.
Pembroke College, Oxford had a slow start in their first round match and never quite managed to take the lead from Exeter University, who beat them by 45 points. They answered well on the events of 1985, which is quite impressive when you consider that none of them was even born then. With an average age of just under 19, 5 years younger than their opponents tonight, they're the most spring chickenish in this year's contest. Let's meet them again.
Hi, I'm David Reid. I'm from Reigate, Surrey, and I'm reading modern history and economics.
Hi, my name's Will Dealey. I'm from the West Midlands and I'm reading French and linguistics.
And their captain.
Hi, my name's Chloe Reid. I'm from Croydon and I'm reading music.
Hi, I'm Will Hazel. I'm from Shepperton in Middlesex and I'm reading modern history and politics.
OK, you all know the rules by now. Just watch out for the 5-point fine for incorrect interruptions to starter questions. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. What 7-letter word can mean a geographic area in an armed conflict, the milieu of actors and playwrights, or the setting for dramatic events, and a room in...
Pembroke, misread.
Theatre.
Correct. Your bonuses, Pembroke, are on a crown dependency. Which crown dependency of the UK has as its emblem a triskelion and the motto, whithersoever you throw it, it will stand?
The Isle of Man?
Correct. Built at the behest of Olaf II in about 1230 and the subject of a Manx fairy tale explaining the absence of a roof, the church at Maroon on the Isle of Man now bears which saint's name, perhaps more familiar in another context?
St David? It's not St Clement? I don't know.
St David?
No, it's St Trinian. The 1929 film The Manx Man was the last silent film by which acclaimed director before he made the transition to sound with films such as Murder and The Skin Game in the 1930s.
John Lane?
No, it's Alfred Hitchcock. 10 points for this. Marriage to this axe-happy, ulcerated, impotent monster was a nightmare, but she survived it to triumphantly lead a 4th husband to the altar. These words by the author J.L. Carr describe which English queen, the 6th wife of Henry VIII?
St John's Burn.
Catherine Parr.
Correct. Your first bonuses, St John's, are on lips in poetry. Those lips that love's own hand did make breathed forth the sound that said, I hate. Who wrote the sonnet that begins with these lines?
Shakespeare?
Correct. Sonnet 145. According to Shakespeare's Sonnet 130, what is far more red than the lips of the poet's mistress?
Coral?
Coral is correct. According to Sonnet 116, what is not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come?
Poetry?
No, it's love. 10 points for this. What 2-word expression was used on the London stock market in the 18th century to mean an investor who was unable to pay his debts, but has come to be applied to politicians in their final period of office?
St John's O'Leary.
Lame duck?
Correct. Your bonuses are on the 1950s. In each case, give the year of the 1950s during which the following occurred. Firstly, for 5 points, Winston Churchill was re-elected Prime Minister after 6 years in opposition. Mohammad Mossadegh became Prime Minister of Iran and nationalised the country's oil assets.
1951.
Correct. Mohammad Mossadegh was toppled in a coup organised by the UK and USA. Hillary and Tenzing reached the summit of Mount Everest, and Joseph Stalin died aged 73.
1953.
Correct. And finally, Khrushchev denounced Stalin as a paranoid despot. Soviet troops crushed an uprising in Hungary. Britain and France attempted to gain control of Suez.
56.
Correct. 10 points for the starter question. What name is given to the number obtained if 10 is raised to the power of 10 to the power of 100?
St John's Dolan.
Is it a Google?
No. Anyone want a buzz from Pembroke?
Pembroke Dealey.
Googleplex.
Googleplex is correct, yes. Here are your bonuses. They're on dogs in 19th century fiction, Pembroke College. For each of the following dogs, I want the name of the relevant human and the work in which they both appear. Firstly, for 5 points. Initially thought by the narrator to resemble a Gytrash or ghost dog of folk mythology, Pilot is owned by which character in which novel of 1847?
Rochester in Jane Eyre.
Correct. Described as a queer mongrel with a most amazing power of scent, Toby is borrowed by which character in which full-length novel of 1890?
I think it's Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, the book?
Oh, it's The Sign of the Four.
The Sign of the Four.
Correct. And finally, Bullseye is described as having faults of temper in common with which character, his owner, in which novel of 1839?
Bill Sykes in Oliver Twist.
Yes. 10 points for this. By what letter of the alphabet is the sound described in phonetic terms as a voiceless bilabial plosive, most commonly represented?
Pembroke Dealey.
P.
P is correct. That gives you the lead again, Pembroke College. Your bonuses are on the rising cost of living. In November 2006, BT raised the minimum cost of a call from a payphone to what?
20 pence?
No, it's 40 pence. In December 2005, a standard 10-year adult passport cost £42. After 3 price rises, what did it cost 2 years later, in December 2007? You can have £2 either way.
£75?
No, bad luck, it's £72. I'd have taken 74, but not 75. And finally, following the price rises of April 2008, what became the difference between the charges for a first and second-class letter weighing up to 100 grams?
First class is 36. 12 pence.
12 pence?
No, it's 9p, 36 and 27. So, 10 points for this starter question. It is a picture round now. You'll see an electronic product. 10 points if you can give me its 3-word name.
St John's O'Leary.
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Correct. Did you ever have one? Never knew it'd come in useful, did you? OK, it was discontinued in 1995. Your picture bonuses are 3 more obsolete games, consoles or computers. 5 points for giving me their exact name in each case. Firstly, for 5 points.
It's the Sega Mega Drive.
It's the Sega Mega Drive. Sega Mega Drive.
Indeed. Secondly, this home computer.
Spectrum ZX.
It is the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, yes. And finally...
Sony PlayStation.
It is. All those children across the land will be able to reply to their parents after wasting their time. Right, 10 points for this. Which modern state was the writer, traveller and administrator Gertrude Bell described as the uncrowned queen in reference to her role in its establishment and her influence on its first...
Pembroke Hazel.
Iraq.
Iraq is right. Your bonuses, Pembroke, are on British geography. Get them, you take the lead again. Home to one of the UK's legal deposit libraries, which town is situated by the River Rydal and the river from which it takes its name?
Well, there's
London, Oxford, Cambridge.
London, Oxford, Cambridge. Cambridge. I'm not sure there's any more. No.
Is there Rydal?
Maybe the Cambridge, maybe. Yeah, that's right. Cambridge.
Cambridge?
No, it's Aberystwyth. Which Welsh city is situated at the mouth of the River Usk, just downstream from the former Roman legionary fortress of Caerleon?
Swansea.
No, it's Newport. Which Welsh city is situated at the mouth of the River Towy, close to the Gower Peninsula?
Don't know. Holyhead? Yeah, Holyhead. No, that's not. I don't know.
Swansea.
Swansea is right, yes. 10 points for this. Cowboy, Kid Creole, Melly Mel, Raheem and Scorpio were collectively known by what name when they...
Pembroke Hazel.
The Coconuts.
No, you lose 5 points when they accompanied the rap artist Grandmaster Flash on the 1982 single and album The Message. St John's, somebody buzz, please. I'll tell you it's the Furious Five. 10 points for this. I shut my eyes in order to see. These are the words of which French artist who left his family and career as a stockbroker to devote himself to art, moving to...
St John's Dolan.
Gauguin.
Gauguin is correct, yes. St John's, your bonuses are on pairs of words whose spellings are identical but for the letters GH. For example, fit and fight. In each case, give me the 2 words that correspond to the definitions. Firstly, a document making a command in the name of a court or sovereign, ordering, for example, the election of an MP, and a maker or builder, usually in combination with another noun.
Writ and right.
Correct. A period of illness, a drinking session or a boxing match. The past participle of a verb meaning to obtain in exchange for money.
Bout and bought.
Correct. And finally, a small songbird of the family Paridae and an adjective meaning close-fitting or firmly fastened.
Tit and tight.
Correct. 10 points for this. Which city is the largest in the Urals, founded 1723 by the statesman and historian...
St John's Dolan.
Yekaterinburg.
Correct. Your bonuses now are on history, St John's. La Ravalière-le-Pau, Le Tourneur and Barras were among the executives elected to governmental office during that period of French history commonly known by what name?
The Terror.
No, it's the Directoire. The 1799 portrait of Mademoiselle de Verninal, which depicts the Directoire and later Empire style of recreating classical Greek dress for women, is by which French artist?
David.
Correct. What name was that of the second month of the French revolutionary calendar and became synonymous with the coup d'etat by which Napoleon overthrew the Directoire and established the consulate? Let's have an answer.
Second.
No, it's Brumaire. Another starter question. What word was coined by Richard Dawkins in 1976 for ideas and practices?
St John's O'Leary.
Meme.
Meme is right. Yes, your bonuses are on biography, specifically recent winners of the James Tate Black Memorial Prize for Biography. Firstly, for 5 points, entitled Fighting for Britain 1937-46, Volume 3 of Robert Skidelsky's biography of which economist won the James Tate Black Prize in 2001?
Keynes.
Correct. Winner in 2006, Byron Rogers, The Man Who Went Into the West, is the biography of which Welsh poet who died in 2000?
Ted Hughes.
No, it's R.S. Thomas. And finally, which novelist's autobiographical work, Experience, won the prize in 2000?
Campbell.
Margaret who? No, but I'll tell you, it's Martin Amis. Right, 10 points for this starter question. The name of which town in West Yorkshire completes these lines of poetry by John Betjeman? Red hair she had and golden skin. Her sulky lips were shaped for sin. Her sturdy legs were flannel slacked. The strongest legs in...
St John's Evans.
Pontefract.
It is indeed, yes. The licorice fields of Pontefract. So your bonuses now, St John's, are on physics. What is defined in the Encyclopaedia Britannica as a mechanical disturbance from a state of equilibrium that propagates through an elastic material medium?
Wave.
No, it's sound. The range of frequencies audible by humans runs approximately from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. To the nearest whole number, how many octaves is there?
10.
Correct. What form can sound waves take in a solid, but not in liquids and gases?
Transverse.
Transverse is correct. We're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you're going to hear a piece of classical music. All you have to do for 10 points is to name the composer.
Pembroke misread.
Debussy.
Debussy is right. Aren't you studying music? Yeah. Now, Debussy in 1884 won the Grand Prix de Rome, a competition open to French composers for a studentship at the French Embassy in Rome. For your bonuses, you're going to hear music by 3 more 19th century French winners of the prize. 5 points if you can name the composer in each case. Firstly, for 5 points, the 1830 winner.
Galileo.
It is. Secondly, the winner in 1839.
Bizet.
No, it's Gounod. It's from Faust. And finally, the winning composer of 1857.
Bizet.
That is Bizet, yes, of course, from Carmen. Right, 10 points for this. Which year saw Spain and Portugal enter the European Economic Community, the Big Bang in the London Stock Exchange, the first broadcast of the BBC drama series Casualty, and the Hand of God incident in the World Cup?
St John's Evans.
1986.
Correct. Your bonuses now, St John's, are on schools of economics. Firstly, for 5 points, Milton Friedman and George Stigler are associated with which school? It advocated free market economics and was named after the university at which they taught.
Chicago.
Correct. Which Nordic capital shares its name with a school inspired by the works of Knut Wicksell, the teacher of such members as Bertil Ohlin and Gunnar Myrdal?
Oslo.
No, it's the Stockholm School. Which country gave its name to the school founded by Karl Menger, the author of the 1871 work Principles of Economics?
Austria.
Austria is right. 10 points for this. Denying any value to speculation or metaphysics, what single-word term is specifically applied to the philosophical doctrine developed by Auguste Comte from the 1830s?
St John's Burn.
Positivism.
Correct. Your bonuses now are on loneliness, St John's. We are, for the most part, more lonely when we go abroad among men than when we stay in our chambers. Who wrote those words in the 1854 work Walden?
Thoreau.
Correct. There is a pleasure in the pathless woods. There is a rapture on the lonely shore. Which romantic poet wrote those words in Childe Harold's Pilgrimage?
Byron.
Correct. Being Prime Minister is a lonely job. You cannot lead from the crowd. Who wrote those words in memoirs published in 1993?
Wilson.
No, it was Margaret Thatcher. 10 points for this. What surname was shared by Orlando, the English composer best known for his madrigal The Silver Swan?
Pembroke misread.
Gibbons.
Gibbons is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on biology. In the process of photosynthesis, light is captured by pigment P700, a pigment of which general group?
Chlorophyll.
Correct. Photoactivation of P700 leads to the breakdown of which environmentally abundant compound resulting in the release of oxygen?
Carbon dioxide comes outside. Yeah, carbon dioxide. No, glucose. No, carbon dioxide. I think so.
Carbon dioxide.
No, it's water. Electrons derived from water are transported in the chloroplast membranes, resulting in the production of which compound by photophosphorylation?
I don't know. What they starch? I'd say it's starch.
Starch.
That's ATP. 10 points for this. What quantity in physics is a measure of the opposition presented to magnetic flux in a magnetic circuit equal to the magnetomotive force divided by the magnetic flux?
St John's Evans.
Magnetic moment.
Anyone want to buzz from Pembroke College? It's reluctance. 10 points for this. The Geary Carmis dollar and the Big Mac index, popularised by the Economist newspaper, are two measures of PPP. For what do the letters stand in this context?
Pembroke misread.
Purchasing power parity.
Correct. Here are your bonuses. They're about cities. The first 3 examples of which urban amenity were introduced in London in 1863, Budapest in May 1896 and Glasgow in December 1896.
The metropolitan sewer system. Sewer.
Underground or toilets?
Underground. Yeah, underground, yeah. The subway.
Underground Railway.
Correct. Constructed since the 1960s, Paris's second underground network is known by which three initials?
TSP.
TSP.
Yeah, I think so.
TSP.
No, it's the RER. And finally, in which city is the suburban railway network called the Dart?
I don't know. I don't know. Melbourne. Melbourne.
Let's have it.
I don't know.
Melbourne.
No, it's Dublin. 10 points for this. Poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotion recollected in tranquility. Who wrote those words in the preface to the 1800...
St John's Burn.
Wordsworth.
Yes, preface to the lyrical ballads. Your bonuses at St John's College are on mythology. In Greek mythology, who was the mother of Oedipus, who later became his wife and bore him 4 children? She killed herself when she discovered their true relationship.
Jocasta.
Correct. What was the name of Oedipus and Jocasta's daughter, who buried her brother against King Creon's orders that traitors should be left unburied and so was condemned to death by starvation?
Antigone.
Correct. Oedipus Rex, Oedipus at Colonus and Antigone are together known as the Theban plays of which Greek playwright?
Sophocles.
Correct. We're going to take our second picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see an engraving. 10 points if you can give me the name of the ship depicted on the left.
Pembroke Hazel.
The Victory.
No anyone want to buzz from St John's?
St John's Dolan.
The Endeavour.
No, it's the Bounty. It's Captain Bligh being cast adrift, I think. OK, picture bonuses in a moment or two. 10 points for this starter question. A collis fracture can occur just above the wrist across the lower end of which bone that partially revolves about...
St John's Evans.
The radius.
Yes, your bonuses are 3 more depictions of historic ships, 5 points for each you can name. 5 points, firstly, for this 15th century ship.
Golden Hind.
No, that's the Santa Maria, Columbus crossing the Atlantic. Secondly, this 17th century vessel.
Mayflower.
It is, and finally, this one, please.
Mary Rose.
No, good heavens, that's out by about 200 years. Now, it's HMS Victory. Right, 10 points for this. What 2 letters link an archaic abbreviation denoting Scotland, the chemical element niobium, and a Latin phrase that draws attention to a certain detail and is usually translated...
St John's O'Leary.
NB.
Yes. Your bonuses are on astronomy. Based on its shape, into what broad class of galaxies does the Milky Way fall?
Spiral.
Correct. The Sun lies on the inner edge of a minor spiral arm named after which constellation?
Orion.
Correct. The centre of the galaxy lies about 26,000 light-years away in the direction of which constellation?
Sagittarius.
Correct. 10 points for this starter question, 4 minutes to go. Which is the only US state that consists of 2 physically separate sections on the continental mainland, one about twice the area of the other?
Pembroke Dealey.
New York.
No anyone want to buzz from St John's?
St John's Dolan.
Michigan.
Michigan is right. Your bonuses are on library loans. Referring to the scheme established in 1979 by which authors are paid from central government funding for the loans of their books by public libraries, for what do the initials PLR stand? Come on.
Public lending repayment.
No, it's public lending right. According to figures published by the PLR in 2008, which American thriller writer, whose books include the Alex Cross series, is the most borrowed author in British public libraries?
Stephen King.
No, it's James Patterson. Which author, born on Tyneside in 1906, was the most borrowed author every year from 1987, when the PLR began its list, until 2004, when she was replaced by Jacqueline Wilson?
Enid Blyton.
No, it's Catherine Cookson. 10 points for this. The writers John Bunyan and John Dryden were almost exact contemporaries of which British monarch, born 1630?
St John's Burn.
Charles II.
Yes. 2.5 minutes to go. Your bonuses are on honorary fathers. Robert Boyle, the youngest son of the 17th century Earl of Cork, is known as the father of which subject?
Chemistry.
Correct. Which 16th century French writer was called the father of ridicule?
Molière.
No, it's Rabelais. The Venerable Bede, often called the father of English history, spent almost all his life in which northern monastery? Let's have an answer, please.
Iona.
No, it's Jarrow. 10 points for this starter question. NTSC from the USA, SECAM from France and PAL from Germany are the three systems for operating which technology?
St John's O'Leary.
Television.
Television is right. Your bonuses now are on theatre. The open-air Minack Theatre is located on a cliff top in which county?
Cornwall.
Correct. Which contemporary of Shakespeare gives his name to a theatre in Canterbury, the city of his birth, which opened in its present form in a converted cinema in 1984?
Marlowe.
Correct. The name of which Spanish building is borne by a theatre in Bradford?
The Alhambra.
Correct. 10 points for this. Answer as soon as you buzz. In the complex number A plus IB, what does the I denote?
St John's Dolan.
The square root of -1.
Correct. 1 minute to go. Your bonuses are on Africa. Casamance, scene of a low-level civil war for more than a decade, is a region to the south of Gambia. In which West African country? Let's have an answer, please. Come on.
Sierra Leone.
No, it's Senegal. East and West Kasai are, along with Katanga, provinces of which Central African country?
Sudan.
No, they're the Democratic Republic of Congo. And finally, Casablanca is a major city in which African country?
Morocco.
10 points for this. What name is given to the dark red grape variety of the Rhone Valley, also known as the Syrah grape in Australia?
St John's O'Leary.
Shiraz.
Correct. Your bonuses now are on American novels. 28 Barbary Lane is a significant address in a series of 7 novels by Armistead Maupin, all set in which American city? And at the gong, Pembroke College, Oxford have 110. St John's College, Cambridge have 325. Well, we've got to say goodbye to you, Pembroke College. You didn't really do yourselves justice, I thought, but very, very good buzzing on the music, though, I thought. Mind you, you wouldn't be able to go back if you'd got that wrong, I suppose. Anyway, thank you very much. St John's, 325 is a most impressive score, and we shall look forward to seeing you again. I hope you can join us next time for another match. But until then, it's goodbye from Pembroke College, Oxford.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from St John's College, Cambridge.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Game is back on the menu, and autumn is the time to tuck in. What to eat now, next, here on BBC Two. Over on BBC Four now, patience, knowledge and natural thought are required. In the quiz, only connect.